Okay. Okay. Today, what we will see, last time we saw, different filters like so, sorting the data, right? Like sorting the data based on a particular column, right? So that one we saw. And today, what we will see, searching the data. Let's suppose, say, for instance, we have right now we are getting multiple records from the controller, correct? So you're getting bunch of records and we are displaying. Say, for instance, in that bunch of records, if you want to check, if you want to look for a particular record or based on a particular column value, so how to search a particular column or particular record based on a particular column or entire data. So whether you can ability look for a data a particular column, or let's suppose if you know, if you don't know anything of specific to it, any particular column, then you have to look for entire row. So that is the main agenda. So let's suppose this is your table data. So you are displaying rows, right? Multiple rows and multiple columns, correct? Okay, let's suppose, say, for instance, this is column number 3. C1, C1 and C2. Okay, if you want to look for data specific to particular C3, how it is possible? And let's suppose, say, for instance, you don't know, you don't have any specific to particular column. You want to look for data for entire rows. So how to check the data, or how to search the data based on a particular column or entire rows. So this is the agenda. So for this purpose, what you will do, first we will try to display some of the records. Then what I will do, then I will look for some of the, then what I will do, I will add one text field, search. So here you can provide that search content. So let's suppose first name is column name, so you can give some name here. Okay, so that name, it will look for entire column. The second one is salary, so you can provide some salary here, then it will look for entire salary records. So then it will display only that particular records only, it should remove rest of the records. So basically we need one search text box, after that some records. So that is the one. So first let me create another Angular underscore 12.5. Okay, so what I will do, I will copy the previous customer data, because we have enough information here. Like we have name, date of birth, salary, and gender. Sometime we will look for name, sometime we will look for salary, sometime we will look for gender. So we have 3 filter criteria so that we can able to check. Okay, let me copy this data. Okay, these are the sample files I copied from the previous example. Okay, let me deploy it first. You have any questions for the previous class?
No, I'll actually I'm still preparing.
Okay, fine, yeah. So whenever if you have any questions, you can ask me at any time.
Yeah.
Okay, now HTTP colon localhost colon, what is the port number? Port number 8080.
Yeah.
I don't know, might be I changed. I'm running so many batches, right? If I get any issue, I will change the port number.
Sorry.
It's fine, no problem. So if you can change the port number, but let's suppose now I'm running this application with 11112, right?
Okay.
So if I will open another Eclipse in another workspace for different persons, for different team, so I can't use the same port number. So I had to change the port number, or I had to shut down the machine by right clicking. I need to stop the JVM. So anyone I had to do. So just for time being, what I used to do, I used to change the port number. You can change the port number. You can give any number. It will work. No issue.
Okay.
So what is the application name?
Angular.
Angular underscore 12 and index.html. Index dot. Okay. So this is the last application basically. So
Yeah.
now right now we have a data for testing. So now we have a name, gender, salary. We have some data we have, right? So now what we have to display. Now I want to display only records which is having gender as a male. So it should display only 2 records. That is one criteria. So let's suppose, and the second criteria is I want to display a date of birth which is having month as a 10th or year as a 19, starting with 19 or ending with 90, something like that, or name should be XYZ. So these are my criterias. So I want to display only that particular record. So how to display that one? So for that purpose, what I'm trying to do, I want to add one text field, search text field on the top.
Okay.
So you can provide your input, and correspondingly it should that based on the text value whatever you are typing, it should look for the data inside the table grid.
Okay.
Then it should filter the rest of records. So that is the main agenda. So now what I will do, I am going to add one text field over here. Now the drop down is there, I will remove it and I will add text field. Okay, let me go back to our HTML page. So this is our HTML page. It was developed in the as part of the last session. So let me remove this. Now let me add it here. Input type equal to text ng hyphen model
Mode.
equal to search text. You can give any name.
Yeah.
So just for a naming conversion, I'm giving search text and closing bracket. I'm giving the label as a search input. Okay, now go back to our thing and refresh it. So now it is fine, right? So you can type here and it should filter. But right now I mean, our logic is not completed, coding part is not completed, so you will not see any change. Okay, now go back to our page. Now now I don't want to display this order by filter, so let me remove it. So the filter for this one is filter colon. So this is a filter. This is a filter symbol and filter value, filter name, and filter text you need to pass here. The filter text we are saving into ng model. So copy this one and paste it here. Now go back to here. Just refresh it. Just type here MALE. It is not coming. Okay, the we need to modify a little bit here. If you see here gender, right, it's displaying everything is lowercase, right?
Yeah.
The original data is coming up and up and lower cases. We are making to lower case by using the filter. So we have to remove this filter. Okay, now go back to our filter. Okay, now this is the original raw data we are getting from the controller. So now what I will do, now I want records which is having LE. Okay, let me go for MALE, male. That's a very FE. Now it is working, right?
Yeah.
So FE means it is having FE. It's only 2 records. Now let me go for another record. What I will try 6. So here for these 2 records having 6, right?
Hmm.
Correct. Now go for 5. Now this record having 5, 1, 2. Correct. Now filter is working, but it's searching the records across the columns, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it is looking for salary, sometimes so wherever it's matching. Okay. Now go back to the column. So first name, the name we are making to uppercase, correct? Now let me
Hmm.
remove this uppercase so that we will see exact data. I don't want to convert to uppercase, lowercase. So this is the original data. Let me look for VGT, V. So V is there only, correct?
Yeah.
Now let me look for type T. So T is there here. Let me look for P. So P is there here.
Yeah.
So like that, whatever you are typing, right? So now 90 means it is there only here. So whatever you are typing, it is looking for across all the records, across all the records, across all the columns, correct? Now how
Yeah.
to make a specific column? Now I don't want to look all the columns. I want to look for only specific to one column. So let's suppose if you are typing here something, it should look for, let's suppose, P. So male means here male is there, here also male is there, here also male is there. It's looking for everything. And also it is not checking the case sensitive, correct? So
Yeah.
male is lower case. It is looking for this male also it is considering, this male also it is considering. So uppercase, case insensitive basically. So how to make case sensitive? One question. The second question is how to search data for a particular column on a base.
Okay.
So that is the two questions basically. So first question is we will look for the search criteria to a specific column. Okay, how to do that one? Okay, now come back to the our inputs. So this is the label and this is the input type equal text ng model. Okay, now let's suppose I want to look for data only gender. Copy the gender and paste dot gender. So now
Hmm.
whatever you are typing, so that will be looking. So when we are trying to filter, it will look for this data what you are typing to across the gender column only. Okay, now refresh it. Now type here male, FEMALE. So now let me go back to uh, what column I can look for. E. So E is there, right? In all these three, E is there, correct?
Yeah.
Male E is there, female E is there, male everywhere is there. Let me add RE. So now RE is not there in gender column, correct?
Hmm.
So now what I will do, I will change it to gender to name. Okay, now let me type something for. So now whatever I am typing, so it will look for only in name column, correct?
Yeah.
Now let me type T. So T is there, TRE and VGT. In two places, two is there, so two records are coming. Okay, now let me type 90. So you are getting any records?
No.
No, why? Because in name, as part of name column, you are not seeing any 90, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the way we can able to minimize the filter to a specific column by just mentioning the column name over here.
Okay.
So this is the one. Okay, let me remove this filter. Let's suppose if you want to do if you want to search the record based on the two columns, so how to do that one? Copy this one, paste it here. So now let me go back to two text fields. So now two text fields are appearing, right? So which text field belongs to which column? So that is difficult. So to understand that purpose, so there is a placeholder is there. name. So whatever you are typing in the first text box, so that will be for name column. So how can you say by using the UI? So here name is displaying, correct? So if
Yeah.
you type here something P, so it will look for name column. If you type here 90, 90 is not there in the name column, so you will not see any records, correct? Now go
Correct.
back to the second column. So now this is the second text field, so let me change to DOB.
Mm.
So now we will see two text boxes. One is for name and another is for
TOP.
DOB. So give this one for DOB. So this is easy, right? For user friendly. So now we have two text boxes. Type here name and type here DOB. Let me type here DOB as a 90. So two records. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now remove it. Let me type P. This is perfect. Let me type X. This is perfect. So whether you are typing lowercase or uppercase, it is considering, right? You are getting the records. Correct?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Now the third question is, the second question is how to make this data as a case sensitive. Case sensitive means, let's suppose, say for instance, if I type P Q R, see it is, I'm getting the record, right?
Yeah.
Whether it is same case or different case, but still I'm getting the data. So how to make the search criteria as a case sensitive? That is based on user friendly. Just provide one checkbox. So if user want case sensitive, you will do the check. If you don't want to if you don't want to search as a case sensitive, then you can do uncheck. Correct. That is also one of the useful feature, right? Just
Yeah.
add one text box. If user want to search the data based on the case sensitive, then he can do the check. If you don't want to do the search criteria based on the case sensitive, you can do the unchecked. Okay, let me add one checkbox and how to use the checkbox. What is the advantage of that checkbox? Okay, let me add a checkbox case sensitive. So this is a case sense. So what is the advantage of this one? So whenever user want to do the search operation, provide in here one checkbox, type here the content. Whenever you are typing here, if you want to look for exact matching, whether you are typing lowercase or uppercase exact matching, then you have to do the checkbox selection check. If you don't want to
Okay.
look for exact match, then we have to do the uncheck of the checkbox. So that is the advantage of checkbox. Okay, let me add one checkbox, then we will see how to use that checkbox. Input type equal to checkbox ng-model. So you can give any name. I am giving exact match flag. So exact match flag. So copy this flag name, come to here, colon, paste it here. Okay. Now this is the flag. This flag value will be true or false. If you did the checkbox as a check, then this will become true. If you do the checkbox as a false, then the case sensitive will become false. Okay, let me go back to UI. Now you can able to see the some checkbox here, right?
See.
Okay. Right now I'm not doing any check. Let it be false. Okay, let me type here PQR. So this is now case insensitive, right?
Mm.
So I'm typing capital PQR, but it is looking for small case also. Okay, let me check this one. Now it is not coming. Correct. Now let me type here small QR. Correct.
Yeah.
It is case insensitive. Okay, what is happening? PQR. So this is case insensitive. Correct. Okay,
Yeah.
now remove it. And if you whenever you want to perform case sensitive, PQR. PQ or exact match. Now you are getting all the records, right? See, now you are not getting anything, correct? It will look for exact match basically. If you type here PQR, then only you will get records. Otherwise, you will not get any records. Okay, let me type here for 90. So date of birth, we have to give the full date of birth. Then only you will get the records. Otherwise, you will not get. Okay, let me give here, instead of date of birth, I'll give gender. Where is the gender? GNDER. Gender. And this one, let me change to gender. Okay, let me search now based on the gender. Okay, now here I can type gender. If I type here LE, so all the records having LE, right? So it is coming. So let me type here male. So here also male is there, here also male is there, here also male is there. So that's what you are getting 4 records. Now let me make it as a case sensitive. So the now male is not there, correct, in any one of the record. So let me type here now M as a capital, MALE, and let me check. So how many records is there male?
Yeah.
This is perfect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me type here female. So how many records is there with female? Only 2 records. So that way we can able to do the search functionality based on a particular column or across the records, or else based on by using the case sensitive or non-case sensitive. So these are the possible ways of searching the records. So these are the very important features. These filters like how to beautifying the data, uppercase, lowercase numbers, and how to sort the data based on a particular column dynamically or statically. And this last one is how to look for how to search the data from the controller what you are getting. So these are the features, these are the general features we need when you are developing any web application.
Okay.
This is clear, right?
Yeah.
This is one of the very important question, and if you go for any interview they will ask these kind of questions, how you are going to search the data from the list of records with case sensitive and without case sensitive, or a particular column or across the columns. And now the next time, right, what I want to tell you, so far what we are doing, how we are getting the data, we are hard coding the data in controller, correct?
Okay.
So every time we are hard coding the data and we are getting the data, but in real time, right? So you should not hard code the data and you should not get the data and you should not display. So you have to call one of the web services. What I want to say, okay. So this is your application, what we are developing, Angular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is your UI. So you are getting the data and you are displaying in your HTML, correct?
Yeah.
This is your controller and this is your HTML. So every time you are getting data from the controller and you are displaying. Whenever if you are doing any change, you are going back to controller and getting the data and you are displaying. Okay, now the question is, as part of next class, what I want to do, I don't want to hard code the data in controller. So I want to get the data from the some of the web services or some database, real-time data. Okay, so I will get the data from the web services, and I will get the data from the web services. From the controller side, I had to do some change. So HTML will call controller and controller will call web services, and the data will be coming back to your controller and is sent back to your HTML that will be displayed. So this is the in real-time world we will do. This is the approach we are following. We are getting the data from the web services. We are not hard coding the data in controller. As of now, we saw so many examples with just by hard coding the data into controller. This is only for our practice purpose.
Okay.
Okay, this is very important. Next class is very, very important. Why? Because so how to make a call to web service and how to get the data. So that is very important. The change is here, right? Only this is the part I will remove it. Rest of the part is same. HTML I will not change anything. Correct?
Uh,
So only this hard-coded data I will remove it and I will make a web service call and I will get the data and I will save as it is an employee.
I think Swagger works on the JavaScript. This one AngularJS.
Who?
Swagger. Swagger is different.
Swagger, what they are doing, Swagger is, this is the logger search, right?
Uh,
So Swagger, that is used for, let's suppose if you have an application which is generating some log, if you want to search something in your log file.
okay. Because in my project, I have seen development people. We have a Parasoft.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Okay, to
Okay,
test the web services.
okay,
So in the Parasoft, we give the URI and URL,
okay,
and
uh-huh,
then give JSON block,
uh-huh.
connect to the database, and get the data and test it.
Okay,
Okay, auto we write a developer test scripts.
yes. So
Whereas
that is, yeah, tell me.
whereas the development people I have seen the same to see the output they use Swagger. That's why I
Mhm.
put it.
Okay, the Swagger, right? What is it's a web service basically. Here, right? Whatever I said, web services. So there
Yeah.
there can be different types of web service. One is SOAP.
Uh-huh.
Okay, another
So
one is,
yeah,
yes, SOAP web
yeah.
services. Another one is RESTful web services. Okay, the another whatever you are telling Swagger, right? So that is also they developed on top of REST basically.
Okay.
So it's a RESTful web services one type. So on top of that, they developed the Swagger what you are telling. So recently it came into the picture,
Okay.
and SOAP is a very old one. And after SOAP, RESTful web services came. After that, whatever you are telling that came. But it doesn't matter. You no need to bother whether they are developing by using the SOAP or REST or web services. It doesn't matter for you. Just you need to call the web services, the endpoint URL, whatever you are telling, right?
Mm.
They will give the endpoint URL, and you have to use that endpoint URL in your controller, and you have to hit that endpoint URL, and you will get the data. That anyway, I will show you in next class. I will give you some
Actually,
2 3 yeah, tell me.
yeah, because I developed some scripts auto using Parasoft
Okay,
because my test cases are like so when I run in the sequence, it will get executed all the test cases.
so whenever you are
Okay,
running,
in the Parasoft.
okay, Parasoft, that is your own tool.
Parasoft, yeah, no, we Fidelity has bought from outside, I think.
Yeah, correct. Okay.
Parasoft team company. So
Mm.
what they'll do, we'll see the JSON. We give you JSON input and we'll see the output JSON output.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we use the AngularJS to see the in the HTML screen?
Yeah. I will use. I will give 2 3 examples which will generate the Angular JS response, not Angular JS, JSON response.
Okay.
So that JSON response I will display in the HTML file.
But we can call directly from AngularJS front end screen. Okay.
Yes, we
I'll
can
say this is my
call. We
URL
can call.
with JSON block.
So that one, if at all, if you want to call, right, what do you have to do? I didn't think we need to take some Firefox, and we need to take one. What is this? Is the RESTful client.
This is a RESTful. Yeah.
You are using RESTful client or something else?
REST client only.
REST client, right? So here, if you see this is the URL they will give to you generally. So
Okay.
you have to give the URL, and you have to give some method name, and you have to add your what is it? This content type, and you have to add your JSON body.
Oh, headers also we can add here.
Header you need to add. What is the advantage of this header? So what kind of data is expecting your web services? Maybe you are expecting JSON or XML, HTML, or plain text. So that we have to define here as part of header. And as
We
part
should
of
have
both,
Safari, right?
yeah, tell me.
We should have Safari only.
Maybe that is also one tool, but this is very open source and free tool. This plugin, it's very easy to testing. It is only for testing purpose.
Oh, this you have downloaded, right? This REST thing.
Yeah, this is let's suppose if you have a Firefox, right?
Uh,
Okay, just go to the Google. I was using this one in my office and in my, I mean, as part of this sessions also, right, for other teams. I used
Okay.
to use this one. I used to give demo for them.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
this is for REST client for Firefox. Just type here REST client for Firefox. Click here. Just click this one.
Okay.
Click this one. Then it will ask you to. It will download something. Then install it.
Yeah.
After that, what you have to do, you have to reopen your browser. Just you have to reopen your browser. Then you will see here a red icon. This icon. Just click this one, and you will get this thing. So here you can give.
Output will come here, no? So
Yes, yes,
this can be
output will
modified.
come. Yes, yes, I can show you right away if you at all. If you want to see some of the sample one. Tower. You can able to see it, right?
Yeah.
So this is the response, JSON response. So this is the endpoint URL, and this is the method name. As of now, for this one, there is input is not required. So this is your response. It's very easy to test, right?
Yeah.
So I will
Suppose
use
it's
this.
the
Yeah, tell me.
database connectivity we can use. We write a
Database
query.
connection and all, it is there inside this web services.
No, no, that is okay. Suppose our employee number is the key for this
Input.
JSON log input. So
Okay.
what we'll do, we'll get a couple of values from the database and
Mm-hmm.
dynamically we'll pass that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
that
suppose
also we can do. Yeah, I will show you that another example what you are telling. Go back. See here now I am getting only India code. So how it is happening, So here, right, we need to pass the input
you're pass input
India.
here.
If you pass input as India, you will get India code. If you are not passing anything, then you will get no matching. It is telling no matching. So let me remove it. Okay, that is based on the service how they are developing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so like that we need to pass the input. It's somebody else developed just for testing purpose I have taken. So basically here you can able to pass the inputs in two ways. One is you can pass here. So this is the request body. Country colon here you need to give. So this is just some sample I'm telling. So this is one of the way to give input. The another way is you can give here also. slash. So this is also another way to give the input. So now it is still, I had given some junk value. It is telling no matching records. So anyway, whenever I'm explaining, right? So that time I will explain you how to pass the inputs and how to retrieve the records, all those things.
Okay, yeah, once I think I'll get an idea.
Yeah, this is just only for testing purpose. I have taken this web services. So this way,
Okay.
how we are testing here, right? So this URL, I will give this. I will copy. I used to copy this URL. Then what I will do in the controller, right?
Mm.
In the controller, here I need to write some more code. Here I need to mention that what is it? That endpoint URL, and you will get the
Okay.
records. And that records I'm going to save into the scope. Then we will be displaying that records into your HTML page. HTML page, there is no change. Only inside the
Okay.
controller, I had to remove this hard-coded value and I had to populate it. So this example, how to connect with web services, RESTful web services, and how to get the data and how to display the data, that we will see in next class.
Yeah.
Okay, class is very important. We will Saturday, we will connect same time. Okay.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Mm.
So I will upload this video and just you can have a look, and if you have any questions, and we will discuss next Saturday.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Yes.